Okay. Uh, we are discussing about database. Okay. And particularly we are learning only Oracle database. Okay. So not SQL Server. I mean Microsoft database, IBM database. Okay. Particularly we are learning Oracle database. But briefly we are going to discuss initially what is first of all mean by database. Okay. So not related to Oracle, not related to Microsoft, not related to any another product. Okay. So first we'll see what is mean by database. Then we'll go through what exactly mean by Oracle database. Okay. Now, so in the database, you can see the first word itself is data. Okay, so then base is there. Okay. So what is mean by data? You know very well, right? So it's nothing but information. Anything is nothing but data. Your name is data, right? Your mobile number is nothing but data. Your mail ID is nothing but data. Okay. So completely, if I want to say exactly what is mean by data, okay, for example, I want to see your complete personal details or professional details. So then what you will see, what you will tell, your name you will tell, your mobile number, okay, and your home address, for example. So this complete thing is nothing but I can say as a data. Everything is individually information. Your name is information, your mobile number is information, your home address is information. But when I am exactly calling as a data, so whenever is completely collection of interrelated information. So the information, for example, here I am taking employee profile. Okay. So employee profile is nothing but will be having basically employee name, his mobile number, his mail id, mail address. Okay. So mail address of course will be having some another information. This complete information is nothing but related to one particular person, one particular employee. Is everything is related, right? Interrelated. So what I'm calling now as a data collection of interrelated information is nothing but data. Okay. So no one will ask any question in interview. Okay. But we should know minimum thing about database. That's why. Okay. So if you get any question in between, you can ask me. Okay. So finally, so what is meant by data is nothing but information. Okay. Now, so the next term is database, right? Data means we know now. Data means nothing but information. For example, you have your mobile, right? So in your mobile, you are having so many contacts and their mail IDs and their photos. Okay, so it's nothing but information only about one person. Probably you will be having a mobile number, his name, okay, his contact mail ID, his photos probably. Okay, so this complete thing is nothing but data. So where you are storing this data, what is the base of that data? So for example, to speak, you are storing that in a memory card, right? So what is that here? Same, nothing but the data, whatever I'm having, I'm storing somewhere. If it is a mobile, I'm storing in a memory card. It's nothing but kind of hard disk only. If you are storing the same thing in computer, then definitely it is going to be stored in hard disk. Okay. For example, I don't have mobile or computer, then definitely I'll write it in a small paper or notebook. Okay. Otherwise, I can write it in MS Word document, Notepad, Excel sheet, right? Wherever I'm storing my data. Okay. So that storage unit is nothing but I'm calling here as a database. Okay. Simply to speak, base of the data. Is clear?
Yes.
Data means nothing but information, and database means base of the data, nothing but wherever I'm storing the data. That storage in it may be anything, wherever I'm writing. If I'm writing that information in notebook, that is my database. Okay. If I'm storing my data in computer, then ultimately it is going to be stored in hard disk. So that hard disk is nothing but database for me. Okay. Now that another important term, if it is a fresher, if you are a fresher, then definitely a guaranteed question. What is DBMS? Okay. So DBMS is nothing but database management system. Okay. Database management system. So already we know what is meant by data here. Also we know what is meant by database. Done. So only that last two terms, management system, we have to know. Okay. So we know we have some information, nothing but data, and I stored my data in a base, nothing but somewhere in a hard disk. Okay. So now I have to manage that properly. Okay. So if I'm not storing the data properly, then definitely it will create some problems to read the data or to maintain the data or to update the data. So it will be difficult to me. So that's why what I will do, I'm going to maintain the data properly. So for example, I have some notes. Okay. So how I will write my notes? I'll write definitely chapter by chapter and topic by topic so that it will be easy to me to refer it back later. Okay. So means what I'm doing there? I'm managing that notes properly so that it will give some benefit to me later while reading. Okay. The same way here also, I'm going to manage the data properly in the database using some system that we'll discuss in upcoming classes. Okay. So what is meant by DBMS now? First of all, database management system is nothing but I am maintaining the data properly in the database. Okay. So this is about three simple terms what we have with the DBMS. So clear, right, Giri?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what are the different types of databases we have? So here we are categorizing before database came into the picture, nothing but before computer came into the market. Okay, so imagine there is no computer in the market. Okay, so when there is no computer in the market, then I have a different database, nothing but I'm storing in a different way. And when computer came into the market, I'm storing my data in a different format. That's it. Okay, so first we'll see how I'm storing my data when there is no computer. What happened? Okay, so when there is no computer in the market, then how I'm storing my data? Using file system. Okay, and after database came into the picture, I think some resound is coming, logged in from multiple devices. Huh?
No.
Okay, okay, so just mute your mic, and whenever you have a question, you can unmute and ask me better. Okay, so after database came into the picture, nothing but when our computer came into the market, so then I was storing my data in a different formats, like using file management system. Then after that, to overcome some disadvantages of that, started using with different hierarchical database, then network database, and finally relational database. We'll see one by one now. First, we'll see when there is no computer in the market, there is no computer. So then how I will store my data? Definitely, I have to write it in a paper or in a notebook. Okay, so that is nothing but I'm calling here as a file system. Of course, whatever I'm writing my information in paper, that I'll call it as a file. So it is file system for me. Okay, so means before database came into the picture, I have a file system, and in this data will be stored in the format of file. File is nothing but notebook kind of, any white paper kind of. I'm writing my information there. Okay, so here I'm taking one simple example to understand the benefits or disadvantages of this file system. Okay, so I'm taking here one simple bank example. Okay, and that bank is actually maintaining 3 files. You can imagine it as a 3 notebooks. Okay, 3 files I'm maintaining, and I have 1000 customers in my bank. Okay, so first book I'm maintaining for main transaction information, like how much you are depositing, how much you are withdrawing. For those main transactions, I am maintaining one book. Okay, and second book I'm maintaining, for example, for loans information if you have any, and third book I'm maintaining for credit cards. Okay, 1 second, some key is pressed, it seems. Okay, right, so I'm maintaining here 3 books: main transaction 1 book, loans 1 book, credit cards is another third book. Okay, so one person came. Okay, one customer came to my bank and he is asking, please provide my transaction details, because that time I will be not having any mobile, in no online banking, nothing. So definitely I have to go bank and need to check. So he asked me to show main transaction details. So what I have to do? I have to open book 1. Okay, I have to open book 1 and need to find that particular customer details. Imagine that particular customer ID is 103. Okay, so what I have to do? I have to search that entire book wherever 103 is there. because it is not easy to open 103 directly. So because I have totally 1000 customers details in that book, definitely I have to search. So means it will take some time definitely to open that particular page. Fine. Finally, I open that. Okay, that information is there. So after that, the same customer is again asking to show loans information as well as credit cards information. So what I have to do then? Definitely I have to open book 2 and then book 3 also. After opening that, again I have to search in the same way like book 1 to find that 103 customer. Same way in book 3 also. So means what is happening for one customer? Okay, I am searching in 3 books to find 3 different kind of information, of course. Means what is happening? It is taking long time, lot of time to search for one customer also. Okay, so means is nothing but one disadvantage when compared to future database I found here. Okay, it will take lot of time to search, and then anyhow I am searching in book 1, right? So instead of searching in book 2 and book 3, is there any way to get the details automatically from book 2 and book 3 also? It is not possible because those are physically separated individual books. Okay, so definitely how to search in 3 books individually. Okay, so what I thought, I'll search only one time, but I should get the details from all these 3 books, which is definitely not possible because 3 are individually different. Okay, so means when I'm comparing to future database, I'm unable to link these 3 files, these 3 books. Understood, right? 2 disadvantages. And finally, security problem. So this book is not having any lock, of course. Will be not having any lock like a computer. Anyone can open and can read the information, right? So there is no security because anyone can open that file. So 3 major disadvantages we are seeing here. Any confusion about this file system?
No.
Okay. Now, imagine now computer came into the market. Just computer came into the market. So I was writing my information before computer in a notebook. Now computer came into the market. So I'll write the same thing in a Excel or Notepad, MS Word document. That's it. Simply to say, before computer, it was a hard copy. Now soft copy. That's it. That is only the difference. So that time I was storing my data in the file format. Now also I'm storing my data in the file format only. But of course, it is a soft copy. That's it. Okay. The same example, 3 files I'm maintaining in a bank for 1000 customers. That time I'm writing physical notebooks, but now I'm writing example Excel sheets, Excel 1, Excel 2, Excel 3. 3 Excel sheets I'm maintaining to store my 3 different transaction details. Same. So that customer came and is asking me for 103 details. So what I can do? I can open Excel sheet 1. So after opening Excel sheet 1, is it possible to find 103 in a single click? Means without searching? It is
Yes,
possible.
it's
You can
possible.
do control find, you can do, but what it will show? It will show all similar results. Wherever 103 is there, it will show all those results. Understood, right? So that 103
Yes.
number may be there in many transactions. You may be withdraw 1030 amount. Okay, you may be withdrawn like 1030 amount. Okay, or some another customer may be there 1030 with number. So like it will show wherever 103 is there, it will show all those similar results, but not exactly customer ID 103. Okay, so means it will compare to file system. I mean, compare to notebook, it is okay, but it is again like a clumsy. It will give confusion. So that's why it's better to search again in the same way. So means it will take a lot of time to search again. Same problem it is there. Okay, even after computer came also. Okay, so other problem was anyhow I was searching with one book, sir, one Excel sheet. So I don't want to search in another 2 Excel sheets. Want to get the information. Same like a notebook only here also 3 different Excel sheets, individually separated 3 Excel sheets. It is not possible to link them. Definitely, it will take time. We have to search individually in 3 files. Okay, we can't link these 3 Excel sheets with one another. Okay, So means same problem, it is there. We can't link any of two files. Then about the security issue was there when it was a notebook. But now I'm writing my information in MS Word, Excel, Notepad somewhere in the computer. So means computer will be having at least a password to open your computer, right? Compared to notebook, at least it is having some security. So I'm overcoming one disadvantage here when computer came into the market, that is security. So clear?
Yes.
Now, still I'm having two more disadvantages, right? Let's see. After file management system, someone came and introduced hierarchy database management system, HDBMS. Okay, so what he is telling, so instead of writing your information in like a normal file format, now onwards, store your data in tree structure format. Okay, so means for example, you have to write your manager first, and under manager team lead, and under team leads whoever is working, their details. Like that you have to maintain your data in a tree structure format, what he introduced. Let's see, for example, here also I'm taking a simple example. If I store my data in a tree structure format, how it look like? First you have to write the parent, under parent who is the child, under child grandchilds, nothing but leaves. Here I'm taking one simple example, one college. Okay, and in that college I'm taking specifically one department, head of the department HOD, and HOD, imagine there are three lecturers are working. L1 lecturer 1 teaching maths, L2 teaching English, L3 teaching computers. Okay, and under L1 you can see S1, S2, S3, three students are learning maths. Under L2, student 1 is again learning English, and S4 is the new student under L2. Under L3, S1, S4, S5. These three are learning computers. You can see commonly S1 is learning all three, maths, English, and computers, right? So this is my data. Now we'll see what are the disadvantages I'm overcoming when compared to previous management system. Okay, see, I'm just briefing that same diagram here. Okay, so imagine this is my C drive in computer, this is D drive, and this is E drive. Okay, in C drive I am storing these three details, S1, S2, S3. Imagine these three are three different movies, S1 movie, S2 movie, S3 movie, and here S1 movie, S4 movie. Here also S1, S4, S5 movie. Means commonly there is a movie S1 in all three drives, it is there. Okay, now for example, I want to see student 1 details. What I will do, I will go to C drive and I will search. So I'll get the student 1 details. Okay, but what about remaining drives? Definitely I'm not sure whether the two drives also having student 1 details or not. So means I have to search in second drive, in third drive also. Okay, understood, right? Means
Yes.
definitely I have to search three drives, then only I'll come to know whether the data present or not in other drives also, which means here also the same searching problem is there. I'm not overcoming that. Okay, so what about linking? So instead of searching in all three drives, is it possible to search at one time? So which means I have to link any of these three drives. Okay, so I will search in L2 drive, but I should get details from all remaining drives also. Like in computer, if you search in C1 C drive, you will get the details only from C drive. It is not possible to link D and E with C, right? So here also the same problem is there. I can't link any of two files. Okay, means I'm not overcoming any disadvantage when compared to previous management system. So after that, someone came and introduced to overcome these disadvantages. Now onwards, please store your data in sets format. Okay, sets is nothing but kind of a mathematical chapter. Okay, so now onwards you have to store your data like this in this kind of diagrams, sets format. Okay, so it's nothing but network database management system, NDBMS. So in this, I'm going to store my data in the format of sets. Here also we have one simple example. We'll see, and then we'll come to know whether we are overcoming any of the disadvantages or not. Okay, so I'm taking two things here, A and B, right? And A side, you can see I'm taking roll number 1, roll number 2, and B side, S1, student 1. Okay, now you have to understand there are arrow marks from A to B, right? The arrow marks are from A to B. Okay, how many arrow marks are going? Two arrow marks are there. One is starting from R1, one is starting from R2. Okay, so these both arrow marks are having different origins or same origin, starting from different places. No. It's starting
Same
from
file.
here. Starting point I'm asking about this arrow mark. This arrow mark is starting from here. This is one version. This is another version for this. Okay, both are starting from different places. Of course, here destination point is same, but starting point is different. Understood, right? So
Yes.
means you have to read this data separately like this. Roll number 1, first arrow mark I'm reading. Roll number 1 belongs to student 1. Okay, same way. Roll number 2 belongs to student 1. So I'm reading data in two lines, two sentences, because there are two arrow marks starting from two different origins. So I'm reading that in a two lines. Understood, right? So is it possible or not in real time? Okay, so for example, you are there, okay, and it is telling you are having roll number 1. One sentence is done, dot, you are having roll number 2. So you are having two roll numbers basically. Okay, but how I'm reading, you are having roll number 1, dot, next line I'm reading, you are having roll number 2, dot, two lines. So means I'm giving some gap between line and line, right? So means I may think it may be in a different class also. Okay, so you will be having some common classes, right, in BTech or degree, some common subject like English or Telugu something. So there, whenever the classes are getting combined, there your roll number may be getting different. Okay, for example, in math class, your roll number is 1. When you are going to English class, so many and another branch people are also coming and sitting. So then maybe your roll number is 2. Okay, I can think that way here. That possibility is coming for me. Okay, but what is happening? Someone is pressing. That's fine. So the same diagram, okay, by mistake, I written like this. Understood? The origin you can see, only the difference is starting from the same origin now. Okay, I written in backward direction. Same two arrow marks are there, two arrows are there, but starting from same origin, reaching to two different places, that's fine. But starting from same origin means I'm going to read this in one line. Student 1 is having roll number 1 and roll number 2, which means you are having roll number 1 and roll number 2. I'm not giving any gap to think about two different classes here. Okay, understood, right? So because of just arrow marks, the total meaning is getting changed here, right? So the first diagram, at least I'm getting some option there. It may be in a different class to think, but here I'm not getting that option also. Just because of arrow marks, the total meaning is getting changed. Okay, so here only the problem is there. So then no need to think about another disadvantages to overcome, which I was facing with the previous management system. So it is also completely failure for me. So after this, someone came and introduced new database for me. Means now I am storing my data in the sets format. To overcome these disadvantages, someone came and introduced. Now one was store your data in the format of table. Okay, so table means it will be like a rows and columns. How we'll draw the table, right? The same way you have to draw the table and store the data in the table. Okay, so that is nothing but which we are using right now, relational database management system, RDBMS. Okay, so whatever the disadvantages I was facing before, searching problem and linking two files problem, So that actually I'm overcoming here, that we can see actually with the practicals while working with the other chapters. Okay, but how I'm storing my data here in the format of table. Table is nothing but combination of rows and columns. Okay, so minimum columns required to create a table is one column is needed. Minimum one column is needed, and rows also one should be there. Then only the table will stand. Okay, so whenever we are creating a table, definitely there will be one column, one table. Okay, so for example, I have 10 columns in my table. I created one table XYZ. Okay, I created a table XYZ and having 10 columns in that. And there is a possibility actually we can drop unwanted columns whenever we want. Okay, but now can I drop all the 10 columns? Definitely not possible, because minimum one column should be there to create a table, right? So, but if you are dropping all the 10 columns means, what does that mean? You are going to drop the entire table. So then you don't need to drop all the 10 columns. You can drop entire table itself. Okay, so the important interview question we'll discuss while discussing other chapters. Okay, but here what is the question? Can I drop all the columns in a table? Okay, for example, if I have 10 columns in my XYZ table, can I drop all those 10? No. Okay, minimum one column should be there, then only the table will stand. If you want to drop all the 10 columns, you can drop the entire table itself. Okay, it's clear, right? So minimum one column should be there, minimum one row should be there, and you can write maximum 1000 columns in a table. Okay, maximum only 1000 columns in a table. If you want to have more columns, then what you have to do? You have to create second table and link these two and create a relation between these two tables. Okay, but maximum I can write only 1000 columns in a table. About the rows, no limit. Okay, and remember this basic thing. Now onwards, for any object in entire Oracle, any object, any column name. Okay, so maximum name, maximum length of that name should be 30 characters only. It should not go beyond 30 characters. Okay, it should be below 30 characters. Okay, yeah, so we'll discuss about this table and how to work with table, how to create all these things practically. Okay, but as of now, so this is basic introduction about database. What is mean by data? What is mean by database? What is mean by DBMS? And what are the different types of databases we were having till now, and what currently we are using? Presently, we are using Relational Database Management System, RDBMS. Okay, and which RDBMS we are going to learn now? We are going to learn Oracle RDBMS. Okay, so there are so many databases in the market, right? So Oracle is one, and the same way, give me a second. Where is who? Okay, so different databases available in the market. We are learning Oracle, same ways, same RDBMS, SQL Server is nothing from Microsoft. Okay, DB2, MySQL, Sybase, Postgres. So like this, many databases many databases available right now in the market. All are with the same flavor. What is that? RDBMS only. All are with the same flavor, but from different companies. That's it. So now we are learning Oracle RDBMS. So what is the beauty of this Oracle RDBMS is, if you learn this Oracle RDBMS, so then easily you can work with any another database also. Okay, because this is little complex kind of, means not complex, it will be having complete. Okay, so that you can use them even while working with this also. Okay, but if you learn this, it will be little difficult to work with Oracle again, means you have to learn back with Oracle again. Okay, so how to access the database? Okay, The simple, any database. You can take any database, Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, any database you can take. How can I access that database? Database is nothing but now my hard disk, for example, right? Database is nothing but wherever I'm storing my data is nothing but my hard disk. Okay, or server. Server means collection of some hard disk. Hard disk capacity will be less. Okay, so if it is my company, so I'm having so much huge volume of data. So to maintain that data, small hard disk is not enough. So what I'll do, I'll maintain some big capacity of multiple hard disks connected to each other. It's nothing but server I'm calling. I'm keeping all this hard disk in a separate rack or in separate room, and I'm calling that as a server room. Okay, so that's it. So how can I access this database? So there is a common thing for us, that is nothing but SQL. Okay, what is this SQL? Structured query language. It's just a language to communicate with my database. Okay, so how I'm communicating with you using a language. All right, same way to communicate with my database, to talk with my database, I have a language. That language is SQL. Okay, so this SQL language is not only to speak with Oracle, to communicate with Oracle. Okay, you can communicate with any of these databases using this SQL language. So means to say, for example, so I'm speaking to India people, so I can speak with these people in English, fine. Same time I'm speaking with USA people, same language I can use to speak with them also. I'm speaking with UK people, same language I can use to speak with them, right? The same language, but of course some difference will be there in the English, okay, or accent. Same way here also, I can use the same SQL to speak or to communicate with all these databases. It's clear, right? Only one language, but I can communicate with all the databases. Of course, little differences will be there while communicating. That is small things, but the language is same, SQL. It's clear? Okay, so I know language. For example, I know English and I'm speaking with you right now. Okay, so without connecting with anything like no mobile phone, no Zoom, nothing. I'm just speaking here. Is it possible to hear from your side? No. We need some environment definitely. That may be a Skype, Zoom, mobile phone, something. Something we need an environment, whatever it is. Right? The same way to speak with my database, I need an environment. I know the language SQL. I know to whom I have to speak, but directly I can't speak with my database. Same like us. Now we are communicating together using Zoom. Same way, I need an environment like a Zoom. Okay, so using that environment, I can connect with my database with my language. So what is that environment here? So the environment is nothing but same like a Zoom, how we are connecting here. So we have some environments here: Toad, SQL Developer, SQL Navigator, SQL Plus, PL SQL Developer, like this. Okay, so we'll see in our classes, SQL Plus we'll see. Okay, so basic environment it is. Okay, so whenever you are installing Oracle database, it will come by default. To practice purpose it will be, or it's a basic environment we'll see. Okay, because at a time we can connect with only one database and with only one username we can connect with SQL Plus. Okay, in our classes we'll see SQL Plus and then we'll see SQL Developer and Toad. Okay, so in real time, most of the times in most of the projects, people will be using Toad or SQL Developer. Okay, so most of the times we will be seeing Toad only or SQL Developer. These two will be there 90% of the times, and remaining 10% people can see PL SQL Developer, and very rarely you can see SQL Navigator. But here, except SQL Plus, if you know any of this tool, any of this environment, Toad or SQL Developer, then it is easy to work with any environment. Like simple. So if you know how to connect with Zoom, how to join the call with Zoom, how to chat using Zoom, then it is easy to work with any another like kind of Zoom things, like MS Teams is there. They're also same, different product, but purpose is same. Simple thing, you have to check one time. That's it. Okay, so same way here also, if you know one environment here, the remaining environments are easy. Okay, but in our classes, we'll be seeing Toad, SQL Developer, and SQL Plus. Okay, so that is mean by environment. So finally, so how I'm communicating with the database? I'm communicating with a database with SQL using one proper environment. Okay, so that environment is nothing but these environments, and SQL is nothing but my language. And this is common thing for all these databases. Okay, it's clear, right?
Yes.
Okay. And if you have only one database, that is fine. I can speak directly with you. Okay. So if you have multiple databases, then how can I name that? Okay. So for that purpose, we have concept called TNS names. Okay. So I'll show you these TNS names along with installation in next class. So, okay. And before that, let's go through this complete what we are discussing. So first thing is database introduction. We just know, saw, right? What is data? What is
Yeah.
database? What is database management system? Until this we saw. Okay. And database design, it's actually not required, but we'll see after some time. Okay. This is again completely theory kind of. Basically, this database is designed nothing but designing my database from scratch. Okay, so this is basically will done by DBA. Okay, so there will be two roles for us. Okay, so one is administrator, one is developer. So administrator is nothing but going to do all this design and all. So he will develop my database. So after that, I am going to do as a developer. What I'll do whatever is present already there. So I will play with that data. Okay, so in future classes we'll see. So we are going to work as a developer. We are going to learn developer role. Okay, so that's why this is not required for us, but we'll see this again, how to design the database. Okay, so after that, how to access the database just now we saw, but practically we'll see in the next class. Okay, and there are different environments. We'll see all those environments. Fine, and then and so I already sent you the content, right? So the same content, the same flow will follow. Okay, so one by one, and everything I'll edit here itself, and I'll write the notes also here. Okay, the same thing, whatever I'm writing here, same thing will execute and we'll write it here like this. For example, this is old copy. Okay, so whatever we are working, whatever we are getting explained here, we'll write the notes here itself. Okay, and we'll execute and we'll see. Okay, yeah, any other questions if you have, let me know.